Okay, stand up all. Right. Good afternoon, everybody. Okay, sit. So, before just move into the lesson contents, I hope to just discuss plan in this year. Right. You are physical class students and the online class students also watching this video. Therefore, I just need to introduce how our plan is going on. Right. Okay. First thing, this is your plan. I mean the plan of the physical students, physical class students. First thing, each and every Monday at 2:30 p.m. we will do the class. I mean the normal physical class, right? Then next that worksheet sessions, right? And as today is the first week, we are not going to do a worksheet today, because we haven't done something before, right? But next week onwards, we will do a worksheet. So this video you can watch again on next Sunday. That means the online students also can study this lesson, the same lesson, on next Sunday, right? You can watch it as a repeat class if you want, right? It's free to you, right? I mean to the physical class students, and online students also can watch it on the Sunday, and coming Sunday you can watch this, right? The other fact is, with this one, when I publish the online lesson, with that I will send the worksheet also. We will not give the printed materials for worksheets. Is it clear? Now printed materials you have to download as in the last year. Last year also we did the same. We downloaded it and you did it in separate book. You can keep a separate book to do the worksheets. Okay. And worksheet discussion will be held in two manners. One thing is, right, this worksheet will be discussed in the Zoom meeting. Normally we are held in the Zoom meeting on Wednesdays. No? We held that the Wednesdays in last year. This year also it is holding on Wednesday, right? Wednesday at 5 p.m. If you want to participate the online class, Zoom class, you can come and join that, right? If not, the next week, I mean the 1 minute please. Okay, next week means the next Monday. Probably we want to do a class next Monday. Again, our next class will be the very first day of the January. I think it is 3rd of January. Let's check it. 1 minute. Yeah. So yes, 3rd, January 3rd. That will be the next class, and in that class we will discuss the worksheet. After finishing the theory content, then we will discuss the worksheet. Okay. Therefore, that means it is not compulsory to attend the Zoom class. Got it? If you want, you can come to the Zoom class and cover it up. And if not, in the physical class, we will discuss the worksheet also. But somehow, on Sunday, you have to download the worksheet and do it. And do and come. Is it clear? Right. That is our plan. And it took a while, around 4 minutes, to describe the plan. And for this month, I will put this video as a free one. I mean the free class. Directly the video link will be uploaded to your WhatsApp group, right? You can watch it as a free class, and also you are permitted to share it with anyone. You can share it as this is the first lesson. Next year onwards we will open new platform. Still this is in the construction mode, and in near future you can experience this one, SciTime.lk. So through a website with your own personal account, you can refer the lessons. Okay, that means all the lessons will be stored in a particular manner. Easily you can access anytime. You can watch these videos until throughout this year. Got it? That's the next advantage of the course. That's all, and this is the introduction, and I will introduce how to use the website the next day, I mean the 3rd of January. So until that we can continue today's lesson. So now you have step up from grade 8 to grade 9, but probably most of you are still in grade 8, but in the class contents, as we completed the last year theories and all the syllabus, therefore we are just moving up to the next year, I mean the grade 9. And last year we had around 15 units. This year it will be little bit more than that. So let's see this year's plan. Right, 1 minute. Here you can see this year plan. This is our plan. In this year, right, we must do 15. It was stuck a bit. Okay, now it's okay. Right, these are the lessons that we need to complete in this year. Use of microorganisms, eye and ear, nature and properties of matter, basic concepts of forces, solid pressure, circulatory system, human circulatory system, plant growth substances, movement of organisms, process of evolution, electrolysis, density, biodiversity, green concept, reflection and refraction of waves, simple machines, nanotechnology and natural disasters. Right, we can cover up all 17 lessons clearly, can do it because we have a sound plan for this. So our first lesson is this, use of microorganisms. Right, this is our first lesson, and in this lesson I think if you recall what we have done in the last year, right, as the very first lesson of the last year, I mean the grade 8, also we did a lesson regarding the microorganisms. No? And before that year we learned about the microscope, then how to observe the microorganisms through the microscope, and those things were learned in the grade 7. Thereafter we move into the grade 8 and we learned about some basic facts about the microorganisms, and this year we will do we will mainly focus the uses of microorganisms, so applications of microorganisms, how can we use them usefully. Right, then what I plan to do today, before moving to that I just need to ask some few questions from you. Number one, under microorganisms we studied about different types of microorganisms, right? I think you can basically name, not their specific names, I just need the names of the groups of microorganisms. Tell me one group of microorganism that you know. Bacteria, correct. Fungus, correct. Virus, correct. Algae, correct. Protozoa, I think you said all 5. Okay, as you have stated, then there are 5 different groups of microorganisms, right? Again, bacteria, protozoa, virus, fungi and algae. Those are the 5 types. Today we will learn some more details about some special characteristics of these categories. Right, let's see today's plan. Here's the plan. You can see this. Right, let's see this. Here's the plan. Right, grade 9, I will take off my figure from this. Right, grade 9 first lesson 1.1, it's about microorganisms, and under that we will discuss about bacteria, fungi, protozoa, algae and virus. Also I think time will be enough to discuss this part. Where do microbes live? 1.1 and 1.2. That's our plan, and we can cover up. Hopefully, we can do this these contents in today's lesson. Okay, right. Then again, let's move on to the basic introduction of microorganisms. You all have received this tute. I think the online students also have collected. Some students might have received that by post. Somehow you have received this tute. It's with around 8 pages in that, no? Right. So you can see some figures at the cover in the cover page, but I want to highlight this one. In page number 1, you can see 1.0 microorganism facts. Right. There are some wonderful or fascinating facts about microorganisms. Let's go through them first. You can see the tute. Okay, look at the tute. Microbes are the oldest form of life on the earth. Right. And also we will meet nice lesson in this year, which is about the evolution of organisms. How that organisms originated for the first time, and how they just invade this earth, or how they spread out all around the world. That's what we are going to discuss. There is a lesson, right? We will wait for that. In that lesson, we can nicely discuss how microorganisms started, the very first life form on the earth. They are the very first life form. Go to the next one. They have been here for 3.8 billion years ago. Roughly, our earth has created around 4.7 billion years ago. It's a rough value, 4.7 billion years. 1 billion means 1 and 9 zeros. 1 and 9 zeros. 4.7 billion years means this number of 4.7 times. Microbes are old around 3.8. That means we have to put 38 to this. 38 billion years. So they are very old, right? According to the, if you take the Earth's whole life cycle, or the Earth's life cycle means the Earth's whole lifespan as a kind of so the 1 day or 12 hours, right? It says if Earth has born at 12, microbes have born around 4 o'clock, right? Then we, mankind, dinosaurs born about 10 o'clock, mankind 11:59, right? When compared to the Earth life story, we have lived only 1 minute on the Earth. If the Earth has spent only 1 day, is that clear? So you can understand how old these microorganisms are. They are really, really old. Next one. They produce more than half of all the oxygen we breathe. Another nice fact. Normally, in each and every case, we respect plants. We respect plants because they are giving us oxygen and they are giving us food. Likewise, now we are talking about the plants. But remember, plants provide only half the oxygen that we breathe. Next half is given by the microorganisms, mainly algae types and some bacteria types. Clear? Therefore, they are doing a very vital role in our earth. That's why we are learning about the applications of them, using them. Look at the next one. Microbes are the ultimate survivors. Survive means living without dying, no? Somehow sustaining the life. Survivors, they are found just about everywhere on the earth. Today, if the time is enough, we can discuss about 1.2. That means the where do microbes live, right? I will explain this fact when we are talking about that. They live every, right? Where have we stopped? And that is about that ultimate survivors. Thereafter we stated, when you take 1 liter of sea water, right? It says that there are about billion or more microorganism types. So it is in 1 liter. Can you imagine how many liters of water available or the found in the ocean? It may be the trillion, hexillion, or maybe heptillion, more than that. No, we can't imagine that. So if in 1 liter that 1 billion exist, then you can imagine how many microorganisms are living all around our world. Can't imagine actually. That number is an immense number. Got it? Take the next example here to imagine the number of microorganisms. Next example is this. A teaspoon of soil. Teaspoon of soil around teaspoon means it's around 5 milliliters. No? Contains 1 million bacteria, 120,000 fungi types, 120,000 fungi, and 25,000 algae types. So these points I added just to explain or just introduce how big is this category. I mean, these living the number of living beings or their variety and everything. I just want to explain that fact to you. Now we have an idea about we had an idea about the microorganisms, their number and their history and everything. So we will come to the point then. 1.1 in the tute. Microorganism types. So one by one we can study about microorganisms and their types. Number 1, bacteria, fungi, protozoa, as we learned in that previous list, algae and viruses. So hands up those who have seen microorganisms. Somebody? You have seen? Yeah. Yeah. Today, when you are coming to the class, you met one in the school bus? No. And when or where you have seen them? Can you see them to your naked eye? No. No one is seen to the naked eye. Is it? Or can some are seen into the naked eye, or can others are not? I mean, can all seen into the no one can see, as you said, no. But can't we see at least 1 or 2 types of microorganisms to our naked eye? Can see. Few we can see. Can you tell an example for a microorganism who can see to your naked eye? Fungi, some fungi types, and some algae types are visible to naked eye. But nobody can see bacteria to naked eye. No. There are some microorganisms are completely microscopic. That's why we call them microorganisms. They are called microorganisms. Micro means very small. That is the meaning of this. Micro means very small. Organisms means living beings. So microorganisms are the very small living beings, right? And many of them we can't see to naked eye. Then how can you see them? Yes, we have to use microscopes for them. Scope means weaving microorganisms or the weaving micro things can be done with the microscopes. We have to use microscopes for that. Then can we see all the microorganisms with normal light microscope? No. If so, which type of microscope we have to use? Electron microscope. Right. And this is the order. Some microorganisms are visible to naked eye, but not in details, but we can see that they are existing. Some microorganisms are observed through normal hand lenses, magnifying glasses. And some microorganisms should be observed under which microscope is this? Under light microscope. Or others are observed under electron microscope. There are very small microorganisms which we have to observe under electron microscopes. Okay. Likewise, we can observe the microorganisms in different ways, different manner. Right. Then first one, the bacteria category. I will show you some videos which are recorded through an electron microscope. So let's watch them. Then we can see the behavior of bacteria. This is the first one. Right. So let's play in 1 minute, please. Right. This is Escherichia coli, or it is also called E. coli bacteria, a symbiotic friendly bacteria. At this time, we are observing it under 40 times magnification. You can see the magnification at that corner, right? So let's observe them. With even more magnification, or at 100 times magnification, we can observe it like this, and magnifying further to 150 times, then they are visible like that. So further we can magnify to 400 times. Now you can see tiny dots like organisms. They are the E. coli bacteria, and under 600 times magnification, I think slightly they are visible as dots. I think in this one it's very clear, no? Slight dots are seen. Those are the bacteria. They look like kind of dots here, and now it is visible how they are freely moving through this liquid. Most of them are living here. Can you see them clearly now? Yeah. Under 1500 times magnification, bacteria are visible like this. So under normal light microscope, we can observe by magnifying to that stage. This is 100 times magnification. Staphylococcus bacteria. Staphylococcus bacteria is here. And under 600 times magnification, they are visible like this. And still not much clear. The organisms are not clear. Then here it is very clear, no? At 1500 times magnification, we can clearly see them. So that is how we can see bacteria types. Right. Then, right, let's. Okay, then when talking about bacteria, we just studied that in the grade 8. Are they useful or harmful? Both are harmful. Both. What is it? Both. Some are harmful. Some are useful. Some are none of that. No? Not even harmful or either useful. Likewise. Okay. There are harmful bacteria types or useful bacteria types. Right? And these are the basic features of bacteria. They are unicellular, means single-celled organisms. I will show that through this presentation. Then let's see the graphics, some graphics, and study this. Bacteria. This is how a bacteria is visible. This is a recreated 3D diagram. And you can see the inner part also, right? All are unicellular. Microscopic, we learned that, and also unicellular. Microscopic unicellular organisms, and they live everywhere. Everywhere means almost all the places. In sky, in the in water, or also ground, very hot places, cold places, they can live almost all the places. And use flagella or tail to move. I think you can see this tail like part. Also in the previous video we saw that how they are moving through the water. No? Most are aquatic, most are living in water, and when they are living in water they can move by shaking this flagella or tail. That's how they are moving. And some are useful. What's the meaning of this? Some are harmful or some are not useful. No? Right. Some are useful. And these are the types of bacteria. This is the lactobacillus bacteria, which is useful in the curd production, yogurt production and curd production. They are important. You can see those bacteria diagrams given in the tute. Right? Look at the tute. Page number, the first page. Lactobacillus bulgaricus is given here in that one. Second one, this bacteria. This is the E. coli bacteria. We observed that one. It is a friendly bacteria, symbiotic bacteria. And this is the next, Acetobacter bacteria. This bacteria is useful in the vinegar production. And the third one, Vibrio cholera. This is a harmful bacteria, a famous type, you know, it causes the cholera disease, right? And those are the bacteria types. And not all here, there are few. These few are given in the tute also. You can see them, right? So these are real photographs of them. Now we can write down, write the note down about the bacteria. Hurry up. Page number 1, bacteria. They are microscopic. They are microscopic, single-celled, microscopic, single-celled organisms. They are microscopic, single-celled organisms. Next, they live in almost all the environments. They live in almost all the environments. They live in almost all the environments. Next, many bacteria have a long spinning tail. Many bacteria have a long spinning tail that helps them to move around. That helps them to move around. Many bacteria have a long spinning tail that helps them to move around. That helps them to move around. Next, there are useful bacteria as well as harmful bacteria. There are useful bacteria as well as harmful bacteria. Right. That's all. No, the space is over then. Right. Alright. Next category is the protozoa, no, fungi. What's the next category? Yeah, it's about fungi. Again, I will show you kind of video about the fungi types. Different fungi as we observe them under the microscopes. This is called Candida albicans. Candida albicans usually grow. Candida albicans is growing on our skin, right? This is growing on the skin and can cause some whitish patches, right? And that is the nature of them. We can talk about them in details when we are talking about the diseases associated with them. Actinomyces is another fungi type. This is the Aspergillus fungi, right? Look at the nature of them. Candida yeast, this is a famous one. Yeast, no? We use that in the baker industries, right? Candida yeast. And under zoom view, you can see it like this. This is the mycelia, the mold types, right? The black mold or kind of molds growing over, and mycelium bacteria. Look at the zoom view. Mostly these not bacteria. What did I say? This is a fungi, right? Mycelium fungi. These fungi types, you can see the fungi types, and they look like filamentous. No, there are filament or the fiber-like parts, filamentous ones. Therefore, when they live together, we call the way that they are living together as a kind of community. When they are making living as a community, they are visible to the naked eye. Penicillium is another important fungi type. This is used to make or the produce some medicines, right? Saccharomyces yeast, another yeast type, is formed likewise, right? Then let's move on to the next part. I mean the basic introduction to the fungi types. They are filamentous. Some are visible to naked eye. But I just want to highlight this. Some people say that mushrooms as a fungi. Is it a fungi or not? Mushrooms, a fungus or not? Fungus. But remember, that is a part of a fungus. Only a part. Okay? Look at this diagram. Then you can understand it. Here's the mushroom. And actually, the real fungi is there. It's growing under the ground. Okay? The world biggest organism also are a fungi, which is growing under the ground. And the mushrooms are produced to produce their spores acting as the seeds, right? I'll try to zoom this a bit, then you can see it more clearly. This hyphae means these are the filamentous form, right? That microorganism fungi living in the ground, and the mushrooms bloom to release the spores. Mushroom is the reproductive organ of the fungus. Is it clear? That is the nature of them. So mushroom types or these fungi types are visible to naked eye, right? Let's see features. Single celled or multicelled. There are multicellular ones also. And saprophytic, right? Saprophytic organisms means they can't produce their own food. Always they depend on the food produced by others, right? And they are growing on dead organisms, right? And attached by while attaching to a substrate means to a surface. While attaching to a surface, they are living. That's why we call them saprophytic organisms, right? Next one, live in damp places, wet places. Living in wet places, wet dark places. Take nutrients from the substrates. Substrates means the place where the surface where they fixed on. Substrate. Last, some are useful. Again, the meaning is some are harmful or some are not useful or harmful. Only few are useful. Here there is one. This is called the mold or mucor, usually growing on food items, especially the carbohydrate rich food. And this is also a mucor type. And this one is the yeast, Saccharomyces yeast. And the last, this is agaricus. Agaricus is the name of the fungi which blooms these mushrooms. Right. So, let's move on to the next part. Right. Now we need to write the knot. I think it was stuck a bit. Okay. Then move to the page number 1. Still we are in the page number 1. Let's write the details. You can see some of figures in the tute. Here Saccharomyces or the yeast is there, agaricus or mushrooms are here, and muca or bread mold is given in the tute. Okay. Fungi. Let's write this down. Here's the knot. They are single-celled or multi-celled saprophytic microorganisms. They are single-celled or multi-celled saprophytic microorganisms. Single-celled or multi-celled saprophytic microorganisms. Second one, fungi can live in water. Fungi can live in water in soil or on a damp surface. Fungi can live in water, in soil, or on a damp surface. Damp means wet surface. In water, in soil, or on a damp surface. Next, they can absorb food from whatever source they are growing on. Usually grow on dead organisms. They can absorb food from whatever source they are growing on. They can absorb food from whatever source they are growing on. Whatever source they are growing on. Next, there are useful fungi. There are useful fungi as well as harmful fungi. There are useful fungi as well as harmful fungi. There are useful fungi as well as harmful fungi. Right? Finished? Okay. Then let's go to the next topic. That's about protozoans. Right? When talking about the protozoans and algae types, we have to discuss something special. Right? Because this when talking about this the fungi types, we explained that they are growing on the dead organisms, mostly on the dead materials. That's why we call them saprophytic organisms. Right? They are saprophytic. Let's switch off this one for a while. Let's make it silent. Okay. So the other form, protozoans and algae, they are microorganisms, but we call them the protozoans as the animal-like microorganisms. Here like means they seems like or they are similar, right? Not the one who likes the animals. They look like animals. If you go to the micro world, in micro world the protozoans behave like animals. That means most of them can locomote like us. They can't produce their own food. Animals can't do that, no, like us. But they depend on the food produced by others. Others means there are producers in the micro world. Producers are the algae types, right? Algae are plant-like microorganisms. They behave like plants, live in a still place, right? Most of them, 90% of them don't locomote. They stay in one place, right? Looks like green. Most are green. There are different other colors also. But their special feature is they can produce their own food. So algae produce food for the protozoans. Protozoans depend on that, right? Those are the next two categories that we meet. These two categories are advanced than the previous two, right? That means the bacteria is a kind of very low level microorganism type. Fungi is little bit developed than that, right? Their cell organization is higher than the bacteria level, and protozoans and algae are in a in kind of a higher stage or the higher level of the development, right? Okay, take the tute and protozoans. I think it's better to watch the video of protozoans. Look at the video or watch the video of protozoa. Some of these protozoans are very popular among us, and look at this one. This word is very this is a very familiar one called amoeba. It is moving slowly, right? Just like this. And amoeba can locomote. Amoeba can be harmful and it causes some diseases. And you can see that it's making kind of false feet, and to locomote it has the pseudopodia or that false feet like things. That is the amoeba. Then comes the paramecium. Look at the next figure. This is paramecium. It's move even faster than the amoeba type. And look at the nature of the paramecium body. It has cilia on the body, and by shaking those cilia or that hair-like structures, it can quickly locomote through water. Right. Most of protozoans live in water. Right, most of them are living in water. Look at the detailed view of the paramecium. Right, internal organelles also we can see. They are unicellular or single-celled organisms. Right, they look like that, seems like this. Next, Euglena, another famous one. Under 40 times magnification, they look like this. When you magnify to 100 times, they are visible more clearly. Now you can understand that under 100 times, bacteria didn't visible much, no, but they are visible. That means they are larger than bacteria, right? Their bodies are bigger than, or their cells are bigger than the bacterial cells. Under 150 times magnification, Euglena looks like that. This is under 400 times magnification. This is 1500 times. They have a tail or that flagella, just like in bacteria. By shaking the flagella, they can move. And magnification 1500 times. Okay. I think the tail like part is slightly visible now. So this is called Plasmodium, another harmful microorganism, harmful protozoa, cause the malaria disease. Plasmodium vivax form cause that malaria disease. So protozoans are harmful. That's the nature of it. Plasmodium protozoa. Right. Then we observed some microorganisms. I mean some protozoa types, protozoans, and there are no users of them. That is another feature. Right. Some are harmful, most are neutral. Right. Not useful or harmful. but nobody is useful to us. Okay, see the summary of this part, this section. Protozoa. This is how they look like. Unicellular, always single-celled organisms. Unicellular usually live in water and sometimes live in hosts, live in other animals or other plant bodies, right? If they live in host, normally they cause diseases or sicknesses to them. Next, they are organelles to move. Different creatures have different organelles, and none is useful. No one is useful. Algae, they have false feet or the pseudopodia. This is Euglena. They use flagella, tail-like part, and paramecium. They use cilia to move. Those are the organelles that they possess for their locomotion. Protozoans, the animal-like organisms. Write this down in page number 1 and 2. First page. They are single-celled microscopic organisms. They are single-celled and microscopic organisms. They are single-celled and microscopic organisms. Second point, usually live in water, sometimes live in animal bodies. Usually live in water, sometimes live in animal bodies. Usually live in water, sometimes live in animal bodies. Next, they bear cilia, flagella, or false feet for locomotion. They bear cilia, flagella, or false feet for locomotion. Cilia, flagella, or false feet for locomotion. And the last, in the third page, no, next page, turn to the next page, not third, second page, turn to the second page. Some protozoans are harmful to the people. Some protozoans are harmful to the people, but none is useful. Don't write not, but not. None means again the opposites of opposites. Therefore, don't write this. But none is useful. But none is useful. Two negative forms here. But none is useful. Okay. Right. Then we come to this one, and that is the plant-like microorganisms. Those are the algae types. There are very tiny single-celled creatures, right, in the algae types, and also visible ones also. They look like the filamentous, right? You just pay attention to here, right? Don't worry what's going on there, right? Okay. So right, and the online students don't have that sort of disturbances, but as the physical students, they are looking around something going on outside. Okay, right, let's see the next. I will show you some algae types. Look at the video. This is the video. Chlamydomonas, another famous name in the micro world. Magnification is 1000 times, right? Chlamydomonas look like this, seems like that. and they are moving just like this. Flagella is visible in Chlamydomonas. This is a moving algae type. You can see the color, it is green, right? Green color means it can do photosynthesis, can trap the sunlight and produce food. And let's go to the next. Still we are looking at them around 400 times magnification. Now we are looking or the watching 400 times magnification of the Chlamydomonas. And moving or the look seen further under 1000 times magnification. Right, I will fast forward this a bit. This is called a Spirogyra. Spirogyra looks like a filamentous microorganism. Normally they are we can see them in water bodies. The water look green when a Spirogyra are spread, right? In some places we might have seen greenish water, right? That green color comes with this Spirogyra. They are helpful because they are producing oxygen for us, right? And we learned that around 50% of the oxygen is produced by the algae types. 50% of the oxygen demand of us. Look at the nature of a Spirogyra and that spiral appearance of the Spirogyra, right? And around 600 times, under 600 times magnification we are watching this one. We observe this here. Right. Then from the Spirogyra to the next form. Let's move to the next form. Still the Spirogyra. These are the diatoms. Diatoms means tiny single celled algae types. Diatoms comes in different shapes. Most of them are photosynthetic. They can produce food. Right. Look at the nature of diatoms. Actually they are beautiful once we magnify them. They look very beautiful once and seems like this. Magnifying further, right? When you observe normal dirty water collected from somewhere, definitely you can see this sort of diatoms in it. Look at the nature of that single celled diatoms. Algae types. Slight green color we can observe. All the algae types are not green. There are brown algae types, red algae types, right? But most of them are green in color. So under the did you see someone who's passing here, just went through that? Yes, again let's watch that part again. No, I think it's almost this one. That is a protozoan, right? Then you can see the micro world that we are living in that micro world. Protozoans looks like animals who are going here and they are in between the plants, right? Just like that, right? Okay, then some details we learnt. Next we can discuss summary of this about the algae types. Photosynthetic organisms, we are in page number 2 now, right? Some figures are given here. Chlamydomonas, Spirogyra and some diatom types are given, right? Here's the next part. Algae seems like this. This is Chlamydomonas, a nice 3D creation of Chlamydomonas. They can produce food, one of most important point. Usually live in water. Some are microscopic, that means some are visible to naked eye, right? Some are visible to naked eye, right? Nothing to say then. Last one, none is harmful. Look at this sentence. In the previous one we wrote none is useful, right? Here none is harmful. There are useful algae types, but nobody is harmful to us. They are for friendly microorganism type. They are a friendly organism type. Here you can see diatoms, I will try to zoom this a bit. Now you can see the view of the diatoms, different colors, different shapes, and then Spirogyra and the, what is this? Chlamydomonas. Nice. Right. Time to write the note. Algae. They are a type of microorganism. They are a type of microorganism that can produce their own food. They are a type of microbe that can produce their own food. They are a type of microorganism that can produce their own food. Their own food. Next. Algae usually live in water. Algae usually live in water. Usually live in water. They can be red, brown, yellow or green. They can be red, brown, yellow or green. Can be red, brown, yellow or green. Next. Some of them are microscopic. Some of them are microscopic. And some are visible to naked eye. Some of them are microscopic and some are visible to naked eye. And some are visible to naked eye. Some of them are microscopic and some are visible to naked eye. Last. Algae types are useful. Algae types are useful to the people. Algae types are useful to the people but not cause considerable harms. Algae types are useful to the people but not cause considerable harms. But not cause considerable harms. Algae types are useful to the people but not cause considerable harms. Right. And the last, yes, viruses. And one of most famous microorganism type nowadays is the virus. Actually, only one virus is famous, popular, right? That is not justice, no. There are many other viruses harmful. And you know, when we talk about the health condition at the present situation, right? What is the most famous virus? COVID-19 virus. It has different variations, comes with different Greek letters, alpha, beta, delta, omicron, likewise, different ones. And not only that, we are targeting or focusing on the COVID-19 virus, but there's highly threatening virus spreading nowadays. That virus can't go along. Somebody must carry it. Can you guess that virus or the name of that virus? Dengue virus. Dengue is a virus. But people think dengue disease, right? The main cause for the dengue disease as the mosquito. Mosquito is the agent who carries this virus from one person to another, right? Number of deaths caused due to the dengue disease also almost similar to the COVID-19 virus or COVID-19 deaths, So we have to equally pay attention. Another common virus cause the harm to us, that is the influenza virus, right? If you have ever suffered the common cold, in single we call Hembirisa, common cold. Can you just hands up if somebody has not ever suffered from influenza or common cold? Is there somebody? Nobody, right? That means it's a very common one, common type virus. So some viruses are very harmful, some are fatal, means cause deaths, right? And some are mildly harmful. Are there any useful viruses? Never. All the viruses are harmful, sometimes to us, sometimes to animals, or maybe to the plants. Got it? Somehow they are harmful, right? All the microorganism types are harmful types. And we can see the HIV also another kind of popular virus. HIV means human immunodeficiency virus. HIV. What is the disease caused by the HIV? Do you have an idea about it? Human immunodeficiency virus. What is the disease caused by it? Somebody? Nobody. Have you heard a disease called AI? AIDS. AIDS. We should write capital letters when writing this. If you write this aid, that means another thing. No, you know that. Some people donating AIDS for others. Not this. AIDS. Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. There's a long name for that disease. That's why we write it in the short form like AIDS. HIV is cause for that. So we discussed about several viruses. All the viruses are harmful. Therefore, each and every virus is harmful one. Look at the video now. Not that. What happened? No, we are. This is back. These are bacteria. Wait a bit. Here's that. This is influenza virus. And this is the HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. Then comes Ebola virus, another virus that harmed people, and this also was spreaded. The Ebola virus also spreaded among the people like kind of pandemic one, right? Fortunately, did not spread much faster like that COVID-19 virus, right? Ebola virus, and this is the dengue virus. It looks beautiful, no? Colorful, like a ball. Right. That's the appearance of the viruses, dengue virus. Right. Then let's see the details about the viruses. Viruses appear like this, and this common shape is seen in the COVID-19 virus as well. You have seen that one. And these are DNA types. Actually, viruses can't reproduce by their own, but they reproduce, right? And when talking about the viruses, we have to especially discuss about that feature, because they don't perform normal life functions, right? Never eat, do not grow, got it? But they reproduce. Therefore, still it is uncertain whether viruses are living beings or not, right? Viruses make this much of harm because they are in between living and non-living. So you can imagine if viruses completely stay as the living beings, then how much harm they can make. If they can stay as living beings, actually their harm will be lesser than this. What is the reason? Small viruses, they can't reproduce by their own, therefore they need to find a host cell. Host cell. COVID-19 virus use our cells as their host cells. So they enter our body, normally not the virus, they are RNAs. So that you can see the RNA here, this type of RNAs. They send those RNAs into the host cell, right? First they send to the host cell. Thereafter, using the proteins or any other chemicals in our host cells, they make their copies, right? So they use our cells to produce their copies for their reproduction. That's why I said they can't reproduce by their own. What they do, they just send that RNAs to our cells and then they make their copies. That's why they are harmful. When they make copies, the host cell will die or destroy. So when these copies, I mean, imagine if one virus produces 1,000 of that copies, that 1,000 can destroy another 1,000 cells. Likewise, they will attack our cells and destroy. I mean, our means the other multicellular organisms, animals and plant both. There are viruses who harm the plants as well, right? Likewise, we can discuss that they are always harmful, but living or non-living is still uncertain, right? Go to the points. First point, they are the smallest, not they are smallest. They are the smallest. Living or non-living is uncertain, not sure. Use host cells for reproduction. Visible only through electron microscopes. Very, very tiny. All are harmful. Then we have main two challenges when handling the viruses. Number one is they use our cells to reproduction. Number two is they are visible only through electron microscope. Therefore, very difficult to observe whether they are present or not. Right? That's why by taking those chances, they spread all around the world. Okay. Here, this virus is the influenza virus. This is HIV. This is Ebola. And this is dengue virus. Very good. Let's write them down. Viruses are the smallest microbes. Viruses are the smallest microbes and visible only through electron microscope. Viruses are the smallest microbes and visible only through electron microscope. Visible only through electron microscope. Only through electron microscope. Next. Cut off this point. Right? Just cut off that point. It's a mistake here. Cut off the second point. I think that is still seen in the page number 2. Let's see that. Yes. Cut that off. Remove it. Then write the next sentence. They show living as well as non-living characteristics. They show living as well as non-living characteristics. They show living as well as non-living characteristics. Living as well as non-living characteristics. They show living as well as non-living characteristics. Next, viruses need a host cell. Viruses need a host cell for their reproduction. Viruses need a host cell for their reproduction. For their reproduction. And the last. Virus types are always harmful. Virus types are always harmful to the people. Virus types are always harmful to the people. Always harmful to the people. Virus types are always harmful to the people. Right. Then that is the end of the introduction about the microorganisms. Now we have an idea, we just got an idea about different types of microorganisms, 5 categories of microorganisms, how they behave. So as we are talking about the applications of microorganisms, then we have to learn about them in more details. As an example, we learned bacteria can be harmful or useful or neutral. No? Then we learned about the fungi types. They are useful, some are harmful, some are again neutral. Protozoans can be harmful, no one is useful. Then algae can be useful, no one is particularly harmful. Viruses always harmful. No? That's how we learned. So where do they live? That's the next question. Right? They are very old. We learned that. And also in that introduction part, I mentioned that microbes, the ultimate survivors, found just about everywhere on the earth. In first page that is given. Live everywhere. What is meant by everywhere? Where can they live? Everywhere means almost all the places. Let's see particular places where they live. When talking about the places where they live, they can live in the higher skies, up to about 600 kilometers higher sky. In the atmosphere, they live in atmosphere around 6 kilometers above. Right? And also, they can live deep in soil. Right? In deep soil. For about 2-3 kilometers, they spread downwards. So their range, the range of spreading is very wide. And not only that, they can live in very hot volcanoes. But not all the microorganisms. There are microorganism types live in it very hot volcanoes or such places. And also they can live in cold ice glaciers. Right? Also they live in fresh water. Not only in fresh water, they can live in salt water. That's why we call them, they are living everywhere. And they can live on organisms and live in organisms. Right? And at this moment also, number of bacteria types living in our body. Millions of them. Right? Symbiotic bacteria, especially they are living in our digestive system. And they support our digestion. Bacteria types. So they are friendly. Some are friendly. But some are not. Some bacteria types cause the tooth decay. Right? Decay in tooth. And likewise, microorganisms can live in our body or on our body. Right? They can stay on the surfaces. The most harmful stage or the harmful type of microorganism, that virus types, they can stay as the crystalline forms like powders. Until they receive condition to reproduce, they stay like a powder or a crystal, right? That means they can live long. They exist in the environment. Once they get the favorable conditions, then they start to spread, right? Therefore, it's very clear why do we call the microbes live everywhere. They are living in higher skies, deep in the ground, in deep oceans, deep fresh water, very cold ice, and very hot volcanoes, and almost all the places we can see them. And some microorganisms need oxygen to survive, some need not oxygen. Some bacteria types live without oxygen. Got it? Right. There are many things. Let's write them down. You can see it's in page number 2. Point wise we can write them. I think some titles are given in the tute. Title 1, atmosphere. Write this. Up to 6 kilometers of atmosphere. Up to 6 kilometers of atmosphere. Number 2, in water. Fresh water, salt water, brackish water. Fresh water, salt water, and brackish water. Fresh water, salt water, brackish water. Look at the screen. Fresh water, salt water, brackish water. Next, on animals, the organisms, on animal and plant bodies. On animal and plant bodies. In organisms, in animal and plant bodies. In animal and plant bodies. In animal and plant bodies. Next, in human body, on a skin, in mouth, digestive tract, urinary tract, right? They live in these places in our body. On a skin, in mouth, digestive tract, urinary tract. They live on food also, on meat, fish, fruits, vegetables. Meat, fish, fruits, vegetables. Next, in harsh environments, in icebergs, in volcanoes, salty marshes, fossil fuels like petrol or diesel, right? Especially bacteria types living in these harsh conditions. Bacteria and archaea types are living in harsh conditions. In icebergs, in volcanoes, salty marshes, fossil fuel like petrol or diesel. Okay, nice. Then let's recap what we have done so far. Right, today we spent our time to discuss two things. Number one, introduction to the microorganism and their types. Number two, we learned where do they live. So you know next week Next week means the very first week of the January. We will meet back to cover up the rest, right? That is 1.3 about different applications or users of these microorganisms. Okay, then goodbye everybody.